Okay, so I had to take a moment, take a fucking beat or two, and just sit and think and rewatch. It was a big finale, okay? Episode 16 was a big one. We waited a whole long time for that. So I thought we'd just sit down, we'd chat, because I know you guys have opinions. Before I get into this, I want to say, first of all, make sure you're following me on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, because discussions be happening over there, and there's a link to my Patreon down below, which I'll also discuss at the end of the video. But yeah, I haven't really gone through the comments that much under my reaction video. As of recording this, I generally keep most of my thoughts. That's why I don't do a review in the reaction. I keep my thoughts separate, I guess, and then I do a separate video where I've had more time to think and kind of shift through the information. One thing I do want to say is, obviously this video is going to be laced with spoilers because it's a review video. But yeah, Twitter is a really toxic, ugly fucking place sometimes. If you guys are online, if you're on Twitter, if you have an online little space, I would suggest, particularly moving forward with The Walking Dead World Beyond and with Fear starting back up, that you just avoid social media. Because one thing I do want to kind of touch on a little bit is this idea of AMC premiere. I think it's a mess. I think the whole idea of it is just, I don't know what, in the love of God, the purpose is. But because of AMC premiere, you have the episodes going up. I think they go up on a Thursday, either a Thursday or a Friday. It's either or, one or the other. I can't remember. But because of that, you have some viewers that get to watch the episode on a Thursday or a Friday, and then they can't really talk about the episode or be excited because you've people screaming at them not to spoil it. But then by the time Sunday comes around, you have most of the world excited for the new episode, but then you have the AMC viewers that have premiere talking about how they've already seen it and the excitement is kind of worn off. And then on an even deeper level, you have the rest of the world who usually watches sometime along on a Monday. So, like, you have 3 separate groups of people watching the show at 3 separate times. I think they should try and they won't, because, like, it's too far into it at this point, but there should try to be a universal set time that everyone can just watch the show at the same goddamn time, because it makes for discussing the show absolutely impossible, because no matter what you do, you know, you've lost, basically. Like, this video is going up on a Tuesday. I've had people all weekend long asking me, where's your video, and it's like, I post my reactions on a Monday sometime, because that's the day I've always posted reactions. So there's my rant on that. I think that whole situation is just a hot mess. I don't have any problem with the whole, if you pay for early access thing, it's fine. I have access to AMC premiere, so like, I don't care. It's just the fact that fans, they can't really come together the way they used to and be excited on one goddamn day. You know, and spoilers are rampant, and there's little bitch boys they tried to spoil the goddamn episode for me. This is a super weird intro, I know, but there's a lot I want to say. I usually do like a social media blackout when it comes to the weekend of shows that are like airing, because I don't want to be spoiled, and I know that there's little knobs out there who will spoil it, basically. So if you're someone that likes to go around spoiling shows for other people, you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with you? And maybe you should work on going and finding some love, yeah? So yeah, guys, don't worry about spoilers when it comes to me. I've had so many of you guys tagging me and messaging me saying, be careful of spoilers. Trust me, I've been doing this shit a long time. I know how to avoid stuff and not read things. So getting on to the episode. Right. Personally, I liked it. I thought it was good. I have notes now. Hang on, I have notes. I liked the pacing of the episode. I thought that it worked super well. I wasn't really bored at any point. I wasn't waiting for something to happen at any point. I thought the storytelling was really good. I thought the CG was quite good. And of course, we saw with the huge ass walker herd. The episode was postponed due to editing and post-production mostly. And it's clear to see why now. Watching the episode, it's like, okay. You guys had to like do all that shit. I get it. So when it comes to stuff like that, I liked it. I thought that the practical effects and stuff like that were absolutely sick. When Daryl plunges his little stibbity stab devices into Beta's eye sockets, oh my god. The little of when they go in is just, I feel like them setting up the kind of Lydia and Carol story arc, sorry. It's smart. It's smart because I kind of touched on it in the reaction video. Lydia is a similar kind of woman to Carol. She has dealt with similar situations. She will deal with similar results of that, I guess. She's going to be dealing with like PTSD and trauma for a lot of her life moving forward, trying to overcome what was done to her as a child, basically. And I feel like if anybody can understand that, it would be Daryl and Carol, because both went through similar acts. But Carol was there for Lydia at a time where she needed her the most. And I liked that in this episode we got to see Lydia return the favour. We got to see Lydia physically pull her back from the edge. I think that was very kind of poetic and just like a mwah kind of moment. One thing that does sort of annoy me though is with the announcement of the spin-off shows. So you guys may have known over the summer it was announced that The Walking Dead is coming to an end with season 11 and that Daryl and Carol are going to have a spin-off show. I don't know. I feel like with the announcement of that, it takes away the suspense. And I know that's what a lot of fans are saying. Part to me is like, I'm glad that I know that at least they're going to be okay, because they are two of my favourite characters. I do love them. I don't know if you guys remember my reaction to 6x16, but Daryl is very important to me, okay? But I feel like with announcing, hey, these two characters, they're going to stumble on over to another show, it does kind of take away, for me anyway, a bit of the surprise. I mean, look, I have no problem with plot armor. I watch Supernatural, okay? So plot armor is just... I've been watching characters die, go to hell, go to heaven, go to purgatory, be blasted into oblivion, and still come back, you know? I don't mind a bit of plot armor. It's fine. But I feel like, especially with the show coming to an end, it does take away, like when Carol was walking towards the edge of that cliff, I was like, she is fine. Even if she falls, jumps, landslides, roly-poly tumbles her way off the cliff, she'll be grand. And she was, you know. So I feel like that does kind of take away from that a little bit. Moving on to the biggest part of the episode, which was Beta's fucking death. Wow. I kind of disagree with what the majority of people are saying. A lot of people are saying that it was underwhelming or that they didn't like it, whatever. I feel like with the really big deaths like that, you were always going to have people split. You were always going to have people that think you didn't do enough or that you did too much. I think Beta's death worked and was simple because of how easy it was to kill him. With these big villains, you forget that they are human, that they're not indestructible. They're not like the fucking Terminator. If you stab them, they will die, unless plot armor contradicts. So like with Alpha's death, of the really simple and graceful, Beta's death was kind of just as simple and to the point. And I think I loved the unexpectedness of it. I know a lot of people have been saying they wanted to see the big comic book moment and whatnot. I liked the simplicity of Daryl just bouncing out of nowhere, landing a double whammy with the two knives and then leaving, you know. And Daryl saying, I'm paraphrasing now, but I think it was, what did he say, where he said, oh yeah, that was no one, or someone like that, that Daryl was like, I don't care about this bitch because he's dead, I killed him. The moment that we had, that just kind of reminded me, the moment that we had between Daryl and Negan as well this episode, it was needed, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But I liked Beta's death. I feel like it did work, it did flow. I liked how simple it was and how quick it happened. Now, you do have people on the opposite side of that, I suppose, disagreeing with that, and that's totally fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, whether you loved it or you hated it. I'm just saying, personally, I liked it. One thing I did find kind of strange, though, was how my man really just fucking accepted death. Bleeding from his eyeballs, he was just like, oh yeah, it's time to be with my walker friends now. I mean, I guess it is kind of in line for Beta, given the fact he loves the walkers or whatever the fuck. And I guess as well, in a way, it is kind of him getting ready to go meet Alpha in the afterlife. The two of them can canoodle and skip merrily through all the corpses in the afterlife. So I guess, yeah, it's fitting. I love some of the visuals we got. I love them walking through the walker herd all covered in guts and stuff. It felt like a real throwback to the earlier, simpler days where that was like such a big deal, covering yourself in walker guts. It was like, whoa! Now it's like, yes, they have water guts. Water guts? They got water guts. Are they going to make it out alive or not? We lost poor Beatrice this episode, which sucked. I feel like they're just trying to kind of knock off all the smaller side characters one by one this season and last season, and I'm like, stop. I mean, it's literally a show about death, so you're going to have that at some point, but I'm like, still. I loved the moment that we had between Lydia and Negan as well. I feel like Lydia is really just, she's the kind of character who can, she can relate to everybody. The scene that we had between her and Negan, where Negan was kind of giving her an out almost, it's like, because she's so young and impressionable, you want to like scream, make good choices, but you can't because, hello, she's a character on a screen. But it's interesting seeing how she can evoke different emotions in different characters. Like with Negan, it triggered the kind of fight or flight. With Carol, it triggered the kind of deep emotional, like, we can get through this. With Daryl, it's a very similar kind of thing as it was with Carol. And it's just, I like seeing her interact with other people. It excites me. Just to kind of touch on Negan a little bit as well. I feel like that motherfucker has been through more twists and turns and spirally sneaky storylines that you forget half the shit that man has been up to. It was so strange to see him back in the jacket with the hair. Now, I know we've seen him with the jacket on before, duh. But like, I don't know, there was just something about this episode and how he looked that it really reminded me of old bad Negan. You know, evil motherfucker that you wanted to stab in the head with knitting needles. So it's strange getting to see him as well interact with people around him and still be flighty. To see him still be kind of like, I could leave. But he chose to stay. And that does show a whole lot of change within him. And look, with Negan, he's such a kind of hard to talk about character because you're going to have people that hate him, obviously, because of what happened with Glenn and Abe. And you're going to, and you know, he did so much other stuff, not just that. But you have people that hate him and then you have people that really fucking love him. I think he's a fantastically written character. I think he's portrayed brilliantly. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he does. You can love a character but not love their actions. I feel like he just keeps things interesting. I don't know, there's just something about him when he's on screen. He just brings a certain feel to the show with him. A lot of that is down to Jeffrey. But, like, I get it. A lot of people really don't like him. But, like, there has been a time jump. Time has moved. People are capable of growth. People are capable of change. Whether you choose to forgive them or not is a personal decision. It's down to you, the viewer. I think it's going to be fascinating to see how Negan gets along with Maggie, or if he does, especially because my guy was just standing around with everyone. He's not in the cell anymore. He's out and about in the world, you know. Now, it's kind of rough to judge because Negan physically killed Alpha and he helped bring Beta to an end also. So, like, Negan had a huge part to play in the ending of the Whisperer War. You gotta give props where props are due. He helped. But at the same time, that doesn't erase anything he's done in the past. But I do feel like he is taking steps to try to be a part of something. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know. If I were Maggie, as soon as I saw him, I cannot say that I would forgive. I'm generally a chill person anyway. And when it comes to show, TV is TV. It's fake. It's made up. These characters have to go through things. They have to make bad decisions and good decisions. They gotta fuck up and try and make things right. You understand me? Otherwise a character is just two-dimensional. They never mess up, they never do anything wrong, and they're just bland to watch. I like a character with grit. I like a character that divides audiences, that everybody has an opinion on. Negan's one of them. But I am interested to see how Maggie responds to him just being allowed to walk around, just being out and about in the place, because it's gonna be a lot for her to take in when she comes back. Last she saw of him, he was in a fucking cage. And of course that then ties into Maggie's re-emergence into the show. I like how she just bounced back in. I was kind of worried that we were going to get a really big, deep, drawn out fucking thing. Or that, you know, her intro would be just, I don't know, that it wouldn't feel right. Being honest, at the point of the episode that she came in and how she came in, I had completely forgotten she was even around or a character or that she was supposed to re-emerge in this episode, to be honest with you. I was expecting I don't even know what, but I was not expecting her to come in and save Gabe, and I liked it. I liked again how she just kind of bounced back in and was like, "What's up, father? It's me. I'm here to save you." I guess some things never change, no matter how much you grow and adapt. Poor Father Gabriel still needs saving. One of my favourite moments of the episode personally would be we got confirmation that Connie is still alive and she is fine. Well, she doesn't really look fine, but I'm guessing she will be fine. She just... She had us for a while there with the collapsing in the cave and then bouncing over to Eternals. But she's grand. She's back. She was found. I feel... I don't know. When it comes to shipping and liking characters together, it's a very personal thing. It's a very case by case. Depends on you, the person, the viewer. Like with Ezekiel and Carol when they first got together. I like watching a romance kind of grow and develop, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people ship Daryl and Carol. I know a lot of people ship Connie and Daryl. personally, there was a time where I would have wanted to see something with Daryl be something like romantic or sexual be explored with Daryl. And I thought for a while they were going to bring his character down the asexual route, which would have been pretty cool. But now I feel like they are kind of setting him up for something with someone. And I'm like, where are you going with this? I love the idea of him and Connie getting together. I think that they're good for each other. They bounce off each other nicely. But that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people love him with Carol, whatever. But I guess things have now been well and truly shaken the fuck up because we had that big, deep emotional moment with Darren and Carol that had me like, writers, what are you doing? And then you had Connie just fucking emerge from the forest like, I'm back. And then we had the sex police at the end of the episode. Poor Eugene was like, yeah, I'm a bit randy and I want to go on a date with someone. And then the stormtroopers rolled out and were like, stop. So I feel like it was a good paced episode. You had surprises and things jumping out of left field throughout the whole episode. They found so many different ways to throw in surprises and keep us watching. Now, like I said, with an episode that was this big and an episode that was this hyped up for like 7 or 8 months, there's going to be people that expected this or wanted that, and you know, you can't please everyone. But I feel like as a finale, it was well paced, it was big, it was meaty, there was a lot going on. And I liked it. I really did enjoy it. It's not my favourite season finale, but I still really liked it. There's probably points and stuff I'm missing out on. If you have any thoughts or opinions, obviously drop them in the comments. I love talking to you guys and seeing what you have to say. If you guys would be interested in seeing more content from me, I have a Patreon where I do reactions to a whole bunch of other shows, like The 100, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, stuff like that. And this month I'm starting up a whole bunch of new shows in honour of spooky season and Halloweenness. So there's going to be reactions for Good Omens, American Horror Story, Haunting of Hill House, and what was the other one? Riverdale. There's going to be reactions for those shows starting up this month over on Patreon as well. And as I say in every video, because there's always those few comments, whatever I post on Patreon is just exclusive to over there. So no, it won't be brought over to YouTube. So yeah. That's it for this, I suppose. I can't believe we finished another fucking season and another hiatus begins, but at least we have Walking Dead World Beyond and we have Fear the Walking Dead to keep us going until the next Walking Dead bit. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and I will talk to you all soon.